Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It's a big talk about football, episode 19. Next week is 20, Mike. I mean, what's that, 20?
Already.
I can't believe that.
Can't believe it's 20 already. It only just seems like yesterday. We must be having fun, Jake, because it only seems like yesterday.
Exactly. Exactly. Welcome back to a big talk about football, episode 19. Thank you very much for joining me. 1 minute and 36 in. Let's get going. I'm joined by Mike for the next 10 minutes or so. Good evening, Mike. You okay?
Evening, Jake. Yes, fine. And you?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we'll talk about the game in a minute. But before, please subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're new. I have forgot to make the banner. But we've gone up a few subscribers in the last day. We're up to 1,245. So we're closing in on that 1,250 mark. So please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. Peaches in their big J to the A to the K to the E. There you go. Knife, good evening. And FIFA career mode unofficial. Good evening. Just before we bring our first guest on, let's talk a little bit about the game. I mean, we're not disappointed, are we, Mike?
No. Like I said, I was proud of the lads. Really, we put up a great show. Would have been great to nick a point, and we could have done in the dying seconds. But you've only got to watch them against Wolves the other night. I mean, Wolves didn't even get the ball into their half of the field and make 2 or 3 passes till about 20 minutes into the game. And we certainly give them a few problems. And, I think it was level on shots on target. I mean, it was a great performance. I think we all feared a bad performance, but we didn't. We got a good one. And you got to give it to them. They're a machine at the moment.
Definitely, and I don't think I've celebrated like I did when that Antonio goal went in. Perhaps since the Lanzini equaliser, but I think because we went in half time, and I thought we really, really, really did deserve that, and I really did think that we really did nullify all of their threats pretty much. I think we had a fantastic game. The defence was superb, and at the end of the day, they were just a bit more attacking. They left their centre backs up from a corner, and they both of their goals came from a centre back, didn't they? But I mean, there is lots of positives to take out of it, isn't there?
Definitely. The way we had a go, we had a right go, and I mean, I said we had to be brave on the ball, and we had to pack the midfield, and we did do that. We didn't give them nothing easy to get in, no easy spaces to get in behind us. That's the important thing. I think City, they do tend to make one pass too many, but most of the time they can make that extra pass and make that bit of space on the far post where there's always another man that just stick his foot on it and side foot it in. They score so many goals like that where they're just so good on the ball.
Definitely. Right, let's get some guests on then. We've got young lad coming on, Josh, who is a Aston Villa fan. Good evening, Josh. You okay?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. We've also got a Spurs fan coming on as well. Sean, good evening. You okay?
Good evening. Not too bad, thank you.
Evening,
good.
chaps.
So I will go first. FIFA career is coming in already. Here he is, the next Jack Grealish. Josh, we'll come to you. You played Sheffield United last night. Thoughts on that game?
For it, we were quite poor, to be honest. They were bottom of the league, so it's really disappointing to lose to them. I thought going forwards, we had really loads of chances as well, but just couldn't score. And I think that's in some games what we've lacked this season. Watkins can score goals, but I think he had a bit of an off night as well. Last night, the set piece taking is awful because now Conor Houlihan's gone out on loan and Jack Grealish is injured. We haven't really got no good set piece takers at all, so don't look a threat at all from corners, free kicks, and I just think the defending was alright. They had one shot, one goal, I think, all game, but we just weren't clinical enough at all in that poor performance.
Well, it's interesting because do you think that, I mean, you've unfortunately lost Jack Grealish to injury. Do you think that this is really going to open Aston Villa up now? Not him being in there and it kind of telling people that, you could just be a one-man band at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I think he's a huge miss because when he's there, he's the one who he's sort of like basically it's a one-man team because he's just a playmaker. It's that bit of creativity that we need to score the goals. So without him, there's no one who can keep it ticking in the midfield and create chances for us. So I think he's a big miss. But we need to start being more consistent with our results without him to try and show that we're not a one-man team. Because at the minute, everyone's thinking that without him, we can't win games. So if he does leave us in the summer, because I know there's been rumours, we could be right down there next season. So yeah, definitely a big miss that he's injured.
Yeah. Mike, just to get your take on that before we come to Sean. I mean, Jack Grealish is really inevitable that he's their best player.
Bound to miss a player of that quality. I mean, he gives you something extra all the time, doesn't he? I mean, he's so good at getting those free kicks. He is so clever at just holding the ball there and putting his body in and winning those free kicks. And then, he gets free kicks in dangerous areas as well. And, and he's great on delivery. I mean, a lot comes through him. He is a quality player. There's no doubt about it. He's strong as well. You've got a job to knock him off. He's got legs like tree trunks. And, he is, for me, he's a must pick for England. An absolute must.
Yeah. Sean, if we come to you then, in terms of Spurs, you've never been on this show before, so I'd like to ask all my guests, how did you become a Spurs fan?
The short answer is I sort of followed the same team as my cousin, but basically when I was probably about your age, I used to travel the country watching Bristol City with him, and he was also a Spurs fan. But back then, it was sort of almost like, because there wasn't much top flight football on the TV, so if you supported like a League 3 team as it was at the time, like the top flight teams almost seemed like a world away, almost like a different galaxy of football, if that makes sense. So as you get older, you tend to watch less and less, and then I suppose when I started watching it a bit more after playing for many years, Tottenham on the TV more, and still follow Bristol City, but it's now more Spurs. And also around that same age, it was the World Cup 90 when we had Gaza, Lineker. That helped a bit.
Yeah. So Josh, if we come to you then, Wolves is your next game. Have you got confidence going into that?
I think it depends if Grealish is back, because there's been rumours that he's back, but it's not just Grealish that we've got injured. It's the right back, Matty Cash, as well. I think he's a big miss because he's done his hamstring, and we don't know when he'll be back. But if we can play like we did against Leeds last weekend, I think we might have a good chance. It depends if the attack is on it, because this season, I think Watkins is the only one who's done it consistently. Obviously, and Grealish in the attack, because the wingers don't have too much faith in it all. Traore and El Ghazi. So if they have one of their good games, then I think we might be able to nick it, like we did when we played them away earlier in the season. We scraped it 1-0. But yeah, I think it depends if we turn up or not. Because if we play like we did last night, I think they'll definitely have far too much quality for us.
Yeah. Mike, just before I let us go, James made this comment earlier. We played well on Monday, last game. But on Monday it's huge to see how we bounce back. Just before I let you go, quickly, prediction for Leeds on Monday.
I think we'll win 2-1. We have bounced back every time we've had a loss, and we've not had many of them obviously this year. But we have bounced back every time, and huge incentive to try and jump back into that top 4. So yeah, I think if we get enough set pieces again, we were just too strong for Leeds the last time we played them. We cut them open down the middle, and we also caused problems from set pieces. So fingers crossed, if we're on it, we play like we did against Man City, we'll beat Leeds without a problem.
Yeah. Mike, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, Jack. See you, boys.
Thank
you.
Right.
Oh, that's gone a bit funny. So just before we bring our next guest on, let's just take some comments, see what you guys are saying. We're all said about mini Jack Grealish is here to save us. Yes, Josh, mini Jack Grealish. Evening, Neil. Good evening. Hi, love your Thursday show. Thank you very much. Gary says I still love the video of Grealish being in Sufar's pocket. Yeah, that was funny. That really was funny. I've got to admit. Excellent at throwing himself on the floor at the right time, Grealish. Come on then, Josh. I'm going to give the floor to you. What's your response to that, and how are you going to defend Grealish? Because I know you like to.
Well, yeah, so I've got to. He goes down too easily sometimes, but that's just the way he plays. He wins the free kicks in the dangerous areas. So that's just the way he plays. And even if he does go down really dramatically, they're all fouls. He might make it. It might go down as if he's been shot, but they're all actual fouls. You see some players go down when really dramatically, when it's not even a foul. He goes down dramatically, but it is a foul. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's good at what he does in terms of the diving, but there's class there, and as much as I'm not a Grealish fan, but I think it's right. James says Spurs, Lanzini, say nothing. I'm afraid it is, mate. Gaza in the '90 World Cup was amazing to watch. I think Gaza could get in the Tottenham team at the moment. Sean, give us a. Do you think Gaza could get in the Spurs team at the moment?
Of course, I think he's one of the best English players ever played the game, and I don't think many people can question that. If you base it pure on his ability, he was one of the best players in the world at 2 major international tournaments, either side of a serious injury. I think even the golden generation, I think he's better than any of Beckham's goals, any of those. So yeah, he'd walk in the Tottenham team, he'd walk in the England team.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring another fan on now. He is a Man United fan. Rob, good evening. You okay?
Oh, Jake, all right?
Yeah, not too bad. We come to you then, Rob. In terms of Man United, Crystal Palace last night, another 0-0 for Man United. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, another 0-0. It's getting a bit same old now, isn't it? We haven't scored for 3-4 games. It's becoming a bit of a concern. We were looking all right once we got up top and second, and ever since we've got there, we've just fallen away. We're just, as usual, making a hard job of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sean, if we come back to you, I think you're watching your game there. 1-0 up currently. 1-0 up currently. How's it going?
It's a good game. It's a tough game because I think Fulham are a really good side. I think they said on the commentary they've drawn 10 of the last 15 games, so they're not winning many, but you're not getting an easy game. Typical Spurs, they missed a few too many chances, but the second half, Fulham looked very good. So we're winning. I'd obviously love us to win. It wouldn't surprise me if it ends in a draw, though. I could see that happening. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Well, I've just seen the score and own goal for the goal test. What happened there? A bit of a nightmare.
Whoever thought it was Dele Alli's goal. He's back in the side today. First start since the first game of the season, and they've got our best front four. We sort of carved them open. Some putting across, and Dele sort of flicked it, and couldn't see on the original coverage. But I think a sort of defender run into the net. So it was an own goal, but Dele deserved it. Really, he's playing well.
Yeah. Neil said, well done, Josh. Very honest in terms of Jack Grealish. Gary says, we all know we would take Grealish in our teams. And yeah, I think we would. Always felt Gaza was an ordinary bloke. Manu will be watching us over their shoulders. Rob, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we're doing all right.
Well, it's a bit of a 6-pointer coming up, isn't it, really?
It is, you're right.
Yeah, can't wait for it.
Yeah. See, this is interesting. If the season started now, Fulham was stepping. Yeah, I like Fulham. I like Scott Parker. And that's a interesting comment. Bale started to look good. Sean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, Jose's come out this week and said that a lot of it was down to just Real Madrid not playing him and letting him just rust, basically. And I know we're in March, are we? So he come on against Man City and I think we were losing 2-0 or something. He beat 3 of those players and sliced it wide. And you could see glimpses against West Ham, against your lads, second half. He looked awesome.
Yeah.
And since then, he has looked brilliant. So he hasn't done that much today, really. But they're gonna have to manage him. I was surprised he started. I thought they'd arrested him for the weekend. But yeah, you're definitely seeing some glimpses now.
Yeah, I agree. I think he came on and I think he was the reason that you got that goal, because I thought you looked very flat in our game in the first half. And when he came on, I thought he changed the game. We still won, but that's the way football is. Little dig in there,
We'll get it in there, Jake.
Josh, but just before I let you go, where do you, as a Villa fan, think and want Villa to finish, looking towards the end of the season?
I think if you would have asked me a few weeks ago, I probably would have said Europe, like top 7.
Oh.
But now I'd say the way I've been playing recently, I'd probably say I'd take mid-table, because if we get Grealish back and we get a bit of form, you never know, we could get top 8 or at best top 7, but we'd have to go on quite a good run, which I can't see. So I think if we can get Grealish back, we will be able to get top 10, and I'd definitely class that as a good season considering where we were last season.
Yeah. Just before I let you go, I'm going to come to Sean. Kind of the same question. Just looking at the table, you're sitting 8th at the moment with this win. Do you think that you can get Champions League at the state you're in at the moment, and should it be a must for Mourinho?
Probably not. I think we're just starting to hit a bit of form, but I think we've got one of the easier run-ins. Don't think we've also got the Europa League we're going for. I think you win the Europa League, that's the best way of getting to the Champions League. Obviously, unless you're champions, got the League Cup final. So we've got lots sort of on the agenda. Do you know what I mean? But if you ask me, if I come back on in a month's time, I think we've got Fulham today. We've got Palace at the weekend. We've got a home and away Europa League and the North London Derby. If we can win all of those, then yes, I think we've got a chance. But no, I think we'll probably just miss out and finish. I think we'll finish around 5th or 6th in the end.
Yeah. Josh and Sean, thank you very much for coming on tonight to talk Aston Villa and Spurs.
No worries, mates. Chat again.
Thank you.
Well,
Thanks, Josh.
Bye.
So we're going to bring a couple more fans on now. Firstly, all the way over from sunny Spain, it's Adam from Footballer Brownie. Adam, good evening. You okay?
Yeah, good, Jake. I do apologise. I know I'm late again. I will be late for my own funeral, I tell you. I'm late for my watch-alongs. I'm late on your show. I apologise, Jake, but I'm very well. And yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. And we've also got
Hi,
Warren.
Rob. Hi, nice to meet you.
all right.
And we've got Warren, who's a Liverpool fan. Good evening, mate. You okay?
Yeah, hi, Jake. You all right, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Hi,
Adam will
Warren.
come
How you doing?
Hi, mate.
Go on. Hit me with it, Jake. Hit me with it. I know what's going to happen. I've got it ready. I've got it ready.
I wasn't even going to mention it yet. Come on, Nick. Alfie, what is going on? You've gone from thinking about relegation 2 months ago to sitting in a promotion, in a promotion spot. What the hell is going on in
Jake,
Wales?
I feel dizzy, Jake. We're going so far up the table. I'm feeling dizzy, I tell you. Just news today that they've actually given him a new 2-year contract now, McCarthy. It was originally going to be 6 months. I was one of his greatest critics, I'll be honest with you, because I thought it was a short-term appointment. Wouldn't have been looking at the youth, which we have loads of youth coming up, but they don't seem to get through to the first team for some reason. But McCarthy is just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Unbeaten since he's come in. He's brought in. He's determined to bring at least 2 or 3 youngsters to be at least on the bench every single game. So you can see there's a pathway for the youngsters to get into the first team action now. And he has to be commended. I hold my hands up. I'm not in my place at the moment. I'm in my mate's place. But you know what? His fridge is already full up of humble pie, in which I need to be eating as well as my own fridge. I cannot believe it, Jake. Honestly, it reminds me. I don't know if you guys will probably. I don't know, Jake, if you'd be old enough to remember this, but when Roy Keane took over Sunderland in a championship many years ago, and he took over around about Christmas time, and they were in a relegation zone, and they went on such a run. I don't think they finished champions, but they definitely went up automatic. You know, and I'm telling you, we're only 10 points off automatic. And I'm telling you, nothing will surprise me now with where it's going.
Absolute dreamland. Rob, coming back to you. Manchester Derby is next. It's the big derby. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, well, we need to start scoring goals. Doesn't matter who's up next. We can't score at the moment. So thankfully, we're pretty solid at the back. You know, we're not conceding many goals. That away record is something to behold as well at the moment. I mean, you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? So clean sheets, away from home. If you can keep that, and then maybe we can nick a goal somewhere. Whenever we play City, it's always a good game. We always give them a good game, and results, they don't always go City's way. So I'm quietly confident, because we need to find that little purple patch again, because we've done nothing for a little while, and I think we're due something, and that's what it's got to. I'm hoping now that something's going to happen for us. Because
Rob, that's what you get when you take on a Cardiff reject as a manager.
I can't come back with that.
We warned you a lot about him. But you guys wouldn't listen to us.
Be coming after McCarthy next, then.
Yeah.
yeah. McCarthy's next. Jeez.
Yeah. I believe Liverpool-Chelsea takes place this evening. We've also got Steve, who's a Chelsea fan. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening, all. How are we?
Hi there, Steve.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we'll come to you about the game now, but Warren, we'll come to you first. I mean, the thing of this size, what's the more privilege, winning or going above the mighty Hammers in the league?
Wow, I think given this season, it's got to be going above West Ham, hasn't it? That's the challenge. It's always a difficult game against Chelsea, but I think it's we've got to be looking up the table rather than down at the moment. So.
Yeah, definitely. So give us your thoughts on the game. Are you confident going into it? I think it's 8:15 kickoff. Teams have been announced. Have you seen them?
I haven't seen a team yet, and I'm not confident going into any game at the moment, to be honest, because we can't seem to put a team out. So it's going to be. I haven't seen it. I'll just see if I can have a look now and give you my immediate thoughts.
I'm just having a look. Liverpool, Chelsea. So we got Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho, Kabak, Robertson, Thiago, Wijnaldum, Curtis Jones, Salah, Firmino, and Mane. So give us your thoughts on that straight off the bat.
Yeah, it's good to have Fabinho back. The midfield is okay. I think Curtis Jones has done really well the last few games. He's probably been our kind of bright spark, pushing us on a little bit, really. Just need the guys up front. They've been so clinical the last few years, but they have dipped a little bit recently. So we just need to get them sort of back. Maybe Salah's exempt to that. He's done all right. But yeah, we've been so disjointed with different formations or different lineups, different players coming in midfield, defence. We've just had no momentum. Like you're saying about Cardiff sort of going on a run, getting that momentum. It's such a big factor in football, especially when you're trying to achieve a goal of top 4 or winning the league or promotion or whatever. Once you get that momentum, it's a really strong thing to have in a team, and we've just not been able to get any going all season long. So it's just a struggle. I'm not sure where Alisson's mindset's going to be at, because he had a few mistakes and obviously had his personal issues as well. And confidence is just shattered all over the team at the moment. So it's If I was a Chelsea fan, new manager syndrome, I'd be thinking they could probably go there and get a win tonight for the first time in a long time, I think.
Jake, Is it okay if I clip this later on? Because it's the first time in my life, I'm 42 years old, first time in my life, a Liverpool fan has tried to compare Liverpool to Cardiff. It's great, I'm telling you, it's great.
That's how far we've fallen.
I know the point. Warren, I'm not. I know the point you're trying to make, and you made it well. It's just, it just sounded great, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. You enjoy it.
Defending champions as well, mind.
Yeah.
Steve, have you seen Chelsea's starting lineup?
No, I haven't, but I want to just congratulate Rob on his audition for Antiques Roadshow with the Champions flag behind him for Manchester United. That's almost something you can't find in football now. I think it's so old.
It's been there for quite a while, obviously. You're the first person that picked up on it.
It must have been there for quite a while because the cat have had a new one.
You've got Mendy in goal, back three, Rudiger, Christensen, Aspilicueta, James, Kante, Jorginho, Ben Chilwell make up the midfield. Mount, Ziyech and Werner leading the line. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, and are you confident going into it from a Chelsea point of view?
I've been supporting Chelsea now for 50 years nearly, and I've never been confident going into a game, so it certainly ain't going to change now, because we all know how Chelsea can play. They can be 5-0 up and lose 5 because, you know, we just, that's the sort of thing we want to do, really. Having said that, I'm still not convinced about this Thomas Tuchel bloke. I'm still not convinced that he's doing anything majorly different than anybody else. Yes, he may. There's a little bit of the new manager bounce, I think. And it depends which Liverpool team turn up, because if Liverpool turn up and play like we all know they can, who they'd be playing, they could wipe the floor with anybody.
Yeah.
What is the problem with Liverpool? I mean, you know, a few months ago, Liverpool fans are saying that they have the best owners in the league. And roll on a few months now, all of a sudden they're becoming one of the worst owners. I mean,
I think they're.
Is it because Klopp haven't got a plan B?
I think it's partly you got to give Klopp some credit or some leeway in the fact that he's had a fair chunk of his team removed through injuries and various things. And you know, if you had a team like that, do you want to upset the team by bringing in loads of extra people? I think Klopp's relatively experienced in that respect, because, you know, we all think of Fergie and we think of, Pep at Man City. Once they've won something, they build it and want to go on for something else. Whereas I think Liverpool did think, you know, it's a bit Liverpool mentality. We've won it, so we're going to win it for the next 20 years. You know, and that's that. I think they fell into that trap a little bit. I'm not sure about the owners. I mean, you know, American. I can't comment about owners. I mean,
I can't comment.
Our guys just bought a 340
we went
million
from blue
box.
to red and back to blue. The guy, I think the guy's colourblind or something. I don't know.
I've had this conversation on here before that Chelsea does get a lot of stick for the players it buys and how much money it spends. But you look at, you know, I think it was the Man City game at the weekend, and they said they had £300 million of talent on the bench.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's spending more money here. I mean, we tend to buy people for a lot of money and they're not very good, which is a whole different thing anyway.
Yeah. Well, me and Jake don't know what that feels like. We just buy players for pennies, Jake, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we go out and buy somebody called Sebastian Haller for 45 million, and then he goes within 4 games. He goes and scores 4 goals for Ajax. But that is another story. That is another story.
Hang on, Jake. We had Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
We let him go. We let him go for 7 million. So,
Rob, if we come back to you, then, do you think that? I mean, you're in a good position, but do you think Champions League is an absolute must for Ole this season?
Yeah, it's got to be. Considering the position we're in, and have been for the last 6 weeks or so, we're like I said earlier on, we're doing our best to make it a difficult job. But he's got to finish in the top 4. I think all he's doing at the moment is building pressure on himself, because second was looking not nailed on, but we were looking upwards from second. All of a sudden now, you know, Leicester are a point behind. You guys, I think you're 6 behind with a game in hand. You know, it's all of a sudden it's concertinaed up, and he's suddenly looking behind him rather than above. So, yeah, I think it's a must, really. And I don't think he's going to get winning anything. So he's got to get in the top 4, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think we've got to make it. We've got to make non-allowance. We've got to realise that this season is exceptional because the amount they're playing in such a short period of time. And when was the last time you actually sat down and realised that football was being played on every single night of the week?
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't happen.
But with the greatest respect, gents, with the greatest respect, you guys all Premier League, the Championship is far worse. We got smaller squads and we got more games. I don't think I could tell you the last time we Cardiff or have ever not had a midweek game. It seems to be continuous. Saturday, Wednesday, you know, and it's it's so condensed. It's a real struggle, I tell you.
You know, Brownie, what you don't realise is that I referee football, and we usually get to April or end of February, beginning of March, and as a referee, even at local level, we're refereeing usually Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You know, we can have.
Look at it, hey, Jake. Look at this guy giving me a red card. But yeah, he's giving me a red card. No, sorry for interrupting.
Oh, very good.
VAR, Jake.
Yeah, VAR. But I mean, Adam, we're loving it because I'm sitting here as a West Ham fan, and I've took a lot of stick in the last few years being a West Ham fan, and it's lovely sitting there with a Chelsea fan, with a Liverpool fan, and a Man United fan, and they fearing us and put in. Just putting Man United to the side until about 10:15 tonight. We're above the other two lads on this thing. Liverpool, we're above Chelsea for the next 2 hours, and
can't argue with it, Jake.
Good on you, Jake. Good on you. And
thing is, Jake, once you're up there, it's a long way down.
But in all fairness to West Ham, and all fairness to David Moyes and his backroom staff, David Moyes, as we know, when he left Everton, he had his career got battered at Man United. He tried to recover in Sociedad, didn't do too well. Sunderland, we all know what happened there. But you know what? He's basically gone into West Ham the first time. I think he was on about 50 grand a week, 50 grand a year or something. You know, compared to players. And he was willing to accept such a bad pay deal because he knew he had belief in himself. And the first time he done a good job. This time,
what I would say,
not just Moyes, it's his backroom staff as well. But fair play to them, absolute fair play to them, and it's a credit. And West Ham, I hope West Ham should be people's second team this year because I have got a man crush on Thomas Souček, I tell you.
Oh, I mean, I can't like. Rob, just give me but just before I let you go, give us a prediction of where you think that Man United will finish at the end of the season. Quick fire number.
I think we'll hang on a second.
Yeah.
There's definitely no way up. We're not getting anywhere near Man City, and I think we'll pull our socks up and we'll hang on a second. I reckon be a bit of a fight, but I think we will.
Yeah. Rob, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
No problems. Cheers, Jake.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, Rob. What would be interesting, Jake, is to go back to your supporters who, before Moyes was appointed, and ask them what they really thought, because I seem to remember that the groundswell of opinion from West Ham fans was, why have we got him back again? And
it's true.
You know, and now all of a sudden he's walking on water. So
exactly like McCarthy.
Yeah, he's doing something exceptional, which he actually did at Everton, to be fair. He managed Everton and did very well at Everton once he was given the time. And I think you're lucky because this time he's got the time because owners really can't afford to get rid of him or pay more for somebody else.
Do you think it helps not having the fans in the stadium?
Oh, here we go, Jake. Here we go.
No,
I'm holding Jake back. I'm holding him back.
I think it impacts teams differently. I think it's really affected Liverpool. The 12th man and playing at home is a really powerful thing. And with West Ham in the new stadium, it was always seen as quite a toxic thing. The team could never play, and then that's been removed. And is it just coincidence that that's happened? And now, they're flying high, and we've lost the fans, and we can't string up 2 results together. It's just interesting how it affects teams differently.
Yeah, I do think it does, but I mean, in terms of Liverpool, it doesn't matter for you because you don't make an atmosphere anyway. There's nothing there anyway. 3,000 West Ham fans can go. 3,000 West Ham fans can go up to you to Anfield and out-sing 70,000 Liverpool fans. But anyway, in terms of Liverpool,
he was like Pete Sampras then. He returned that serve and game set match Jake.
Anyway, let's not get into that here. Let's not get into that here. So in terms of Liverpool, Warren, do you think the Champions League is the only big positive you can take from this season if you go far in that?
Yeah, I think it's the only thing really. It was decent to get a result against Leipzig away or in Belarus or wherever it was, neutral stadium. We've got to finish the job against them. That has always been a bit of comfort blanket for Liverpool, the Champions League. And I think the only problem is we haven't got any players to rotate, and we want to obviously try and get in the top 4 in the league. So it's going to be a difficult balancing act for Klopp to get right. And the last thing we need is any more injuries. We obviously lost Henderson last weekend as well. And it just seems to be one after the next at the moment. But Champions League is a positive distraction. We've got, a bit of a romance with the competition. So hopefully we can push on again in it this year.
Yeah. Adam, you got watch along tonight for the game, haven't you?
Yeah. Watch along. I shouldn't say this. People watching me and get bored now doing Cardiff watch along. So they've been pushing me to do others. They don't realise I got a job outside of YouTube. Do you know what I mean? But So I'm doing Liverpool Chelsea. It may be good to be a neutral doing a watch along, but no worries. Everyone welcome. Everyone's welcome to my channel. It's not just Cardiff. It's I just love the beautiful game really. So no worries at all.
Thank you very much.
That's why I have to make a move, mate. I have to make a move, but thanks a lot for your invite. Pleasure to talk to you all, and give my best to your dad, Jake. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much, Adam.
Take care, mate. Bye bye.
Right, just before I let you two go, let's have a prediction for the game that kicks off in let's do some maths. Soon, we'll say soon.
30 minutes or so.
5 minutes.
Warren, will come to you. Prediction.
I'm gonna go with a 1-1.
Steve.
I wouldn't argue with a 1-1. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even 2.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jake.
Thank you.
Soon, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So now we're gonna go into the West Ham part of this now, and but first, please see the video here on Canning Town Len is your best place to buy custom portraits that you can buy on the internet. Canning Town Len does animated portraits like this one he did for me up here. They're absolutely fantastic and I couldn't recommend them enough. So just some ones that he did for me. I've got this one here outside the London Stadium. I mean, it looks just like me, really. The best possible kind of animated portrait, kind of animated cartoon kind of picture I could hope for, really. They're absolutely amazing and they are so realistic, look exactly like me, and they are very good to buy. So make sure you do click the link in the description down below to buy a portrait from Canning Town Len. I'd highly recommend them. Click the link in the description down below. He does animated portraits, non-West Ham related, West Ham related, lots of different backgrounds, any shirt, any background. You can basically customize it to your absolute kind of needs and what you exactly want. So click the link in the description down below to check out Canning Town Lane. Come on, you Irons. Hello, Phil. You right?
Hello, Jake. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Right, let's talk some proper stuff. Let's talk West Ham. You all right?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm very good.
Yeah, good. We've got a couple more West Ham fans. Now, firstly, we've got Gary. Gary, good evening.
Hi, Jake. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. And we've also got West Ham Online. West Ham Online, how are you?
Not too bad, apart from the Fulham handball incident that's just occurred.
I mean, I've been on it. What's happened with that?
Well, VAR. Lamina had his hand as close to his side as possible, and VAR have stepped in once again, proving how corrupt the system is.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, well, we're not surprised. But let's talk a bit about West Ham then. I mean, I'd just like to start. Sebastian Haller did an interview with Talksport in the week. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I've seen bits and pieces that he seemed pretty graceful and pretty good in that interview. Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of caught up on it because I heard it when I was driving home from work, and I was like, "Who's that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's Haller." I was like, "Was he doing talk? Was he on there talking about West Ham for?" It sounded like he was seemed to say good things. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it surprised me when it came out on Twitter that he was doing this interview. But I mean, Gary, he said in that that he wants us to get Champions League and he wishes us all the best. And to be fair, he couldn't have said anything else, could he?
No, exactly. I must admit, Jake, I haven't heard the interview. I read a little bit about it in the press. As you said, he said nice things. I think it's just the wrong time for the guy. He didn't fit into the system. Pellegrini bought him and then got sacked, and that was that, really. So good luck to him.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham Alone, it was just a bit strange for him to do that, wasn't it? I mean, it caught me by surprise, and I seen bits of it, but just a bit strange, really.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to have to do an investigation of how much his PR team were paid for that. But on the actual interview, I think he came across well. Whether he meant what he said is a different question. But yeah, he came across well. As you said, he couldn't really have said much worse. If he went down the same route, like what Wilshere did, slagging off the club when he left, he'd just get more stick. So I think he done the right thing to be graceful towards the club, and I wish him well.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about the game. Leeds, Phil. Leeds on Monday. Dirty Leeds. Give us your thoughts.
Well, let's see what sort of Leeds United team turn up. Because obviously we got a decent result in the reverse fixture. Obviously, we need to win the game. Obviously, we need to win every game, but it's going to be an interesting one. We've been very, very, very lucky with the results, like with the teams around us. They've sort of been going our way. I mean, they're not really doing too well so far today, but let's just hope we carry on with how we're playing so far. Don't be too downbeat about the Man City result, because I thought we still played pretty decent in that game. And yeah, Leeds United, I reckon we can get another 3 points from them.
Yeah. Let's kind of go down into it then. What would you like to see in terms of starting 11? Gary, what would you like to see? I mean, the options, we'll start with you for the defence. What would you do? Would you go back to a back four, back three, back five? What are you going to do if you're Moyes?
I'd probably play the same team that played against City, because I thought we played very well. I mean, Leeds are a very hard team to predict because they seem to either win or lose. They don't draw many. If we play as well as we did up there, Adam Road, I thought we were very comfortable. We let in the goal very early on, and after that, we dominated for 80 minutes. So we've got nothing to be fearful of. So if we play the back five and play as well as we did, I mean, Lingard's been an inspiration. So he needs to play because he can't play against Manchester United the week after. So he'll definitely play, and I'm quite confident, quite positive. I think we'll do okay.
Yeah. Who would you like to see come into that defence and West Ham Online? And what would you like to see Moyes do?
In terms of defence, I think I'd change it slightly and move to a 4 at the back and remove Ben Johnson from the team. I'm a big fan of Ben Johnson, but I thought against City, he may as well have worn the City shirt. No disrespect to him, he's a good young player, but I thought he had a really poor game. And like Neil Armstrong, I'm expecting space against Leeds, and Saeed Benrahma is brilliant with space. He's, as we saw in the reverse fixture against Leeds, Benrahma, in my opinion, was the best player on the pitch that night. And I think he needs to play because he's one of those players that if he has space to run into and time to do his flicks and tricks, I think him and Lingard can combine very well, especially with Leeds' defensive record.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they blow hot and cold Leeds. There's no doubt about it. Just gone on the West Ham thing, and it still says we're 4th in the league. I mean,
For now.
Yeah, for another 2 hours, we're still 4th in the league. So let's move up into attack then. So if we go 4 at the back, we'll go 4 at the back. We'll go 4-2-3-1. Who gets those positions, Phil, for you? Up top.
I'll probably keep it the same as it was against City. I don't think we did too much wrong, but I'd like to see Benrahma start. I think he can really open them up big time. But, it's hard to say, really. I think whoever does start, they always seem to do pretty all right. I know Bowen, he didn't start the last game. So who knows, we could have him up there. But as long as Antonio's starting up front, he'll give that defence a good hiding.
Yeah, he should, because I don't think they've got the best defence, Leeds, and the only player that I rate from their defence is Luke Ayling. I think he's very good. But so Gary, does Benrahma come in for you?
Yeah, I think he does. If you follow your analogy with the back 4, then you bring in Bowen and Benrahma, the Johnson of 4 now. So I think that's what I would do. I think Benrahma has shown some real good classy touches when he comes on. I read somewhere in the press that Moyes is trying to teach him to be a bit like Cristiano Ronaldo, who apparently was all stepovers when he came to Manchester United, and Ferguson trained it out of him to make it more effective. And if he becomes half the player Ronaldo is, then we'll certainly take that, because unfortunately he needs a goal. He just needs one to go in off his knee or something, and that'll help his confidence. But I think he shows some great. I mean, him against Sanchez against Spurs was funny. One of the funniest things I've seen for ages. He just made him look stupid, and he's got a lot of class. I'll definitely bring him in and bring Bowen in as well. So we have Bowen, Lingard, and Benrahma behind Antonio is a fantastic front 4, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. It's James. James, good evening. You right?
How you doing, man? You all good?
Yeah. I'm good.
Goal.
I mean, you're here.
West Brom just scored, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Brom just scored.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
get in. Live watch.
Don't get too excited, gentlemen. He's just ruled it offside.
Oh my god.
That is so.
I'll tell you if it's offside now. Hold on. I'll tell you if it's offside. But he has ruled it offside. Wait a minute.
This is live.
He's on.
He's on.
Yeah, he's on.
He's 100% onside. If
in the mud.
Oh my god, his foot is about that much offside, and they're going to give it.
Oh no!
You wait till.
Are they going to give it?
Let's see if I can spin the Let's see if I can spin the camera around. I can't spin the camera around, but
This should be a criminal offence.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be. Yeah, it is. It's ruled offside. They've ruled it offside.
Someone's got to go to prison for that.
That's
if he's got a size 8 feet, he's onside. He's got size 12s, he's off. So that's all I'm going to say on that.
unbelievable. That really is
offside.
unbelievable.
What minute is that in, James?
Deep into injury time.
Yeah.
That is a 94th minute of 95 minutes to play. So yeah, just. Anyway, lads. Back on.
I mean, James, you're here, there, you're everywhere. You were up about 2 a.m. on the American Amateur Show last night.
I had a massive debate with Charlie about Kufel, and I had to go at him with a few facts. And I like Charlie. I've got a lot of time for Charlie, but don't mess with Kufel, boy. 5.4 million. He's class, and we've got a lot of class players in our team. It beats the days of my ego at the club.
Oh,
Yeah.
So yeah.
don't remind me.
Just before I come to you, I've just remembered to load this image up. They didn't listen to us before. And Watford have welcomed Carlos Sanchez
Jesus.
into their team. The one and only, The Rock, the best central midfielder I've seen at West Ham United in my time. Carlos Sanchez has gone to Watford.
He makes it hard open like
What did they see in him, for goodness sake, when he was at us? He was one of the worst central midfielders we've had at our club for a long, long time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's useless. I don't know where he got that nickname, The Rock, from. He plays like a pebble.
If he was a rock, he's eroded a long time ago.
Yeah. Right then, let's stop messing about talking about rubbish. James, the Leeds game. How would you line up back four, back five? Who's slotting into them attacking positions, and what's happening for you?
4-2-3-1 system, mate. There's no 5-3-2 against Leeds, I'm afraid. You go 4-2-3-1. You play Cresswell left, Cafal, the legend, right, Diop and Dawson. The dream team in the middle, Souček and Rice. You have Fornells as the 10, Bowen one side, Lingard the other side, and Antonio up top. Ben Johnson comes out, I'm afraid. He done well, Ben Johnson, but you can't keep mucking about having a right-footed player on the left-hand side of defence or wing-back position, because he's going to come up against players who are going to work that out, and they're going to turn him inside out, and that's exactly what Man City done. They turned him inside out. But he's a good player, but we need a left-sided player on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So,
does Ben Rama come in for you?
I would love him to come in, mate. That man needs to play. He needs to start. He needs to start games. Fornell's had such a good game against Man City. You can't drop the geezer, can you? So it's a bit catch-22, isn't it? So I would start with the system and the team that I've said. I'll just maybe Bowen out, Ben Rama in, but other than that, the rest of it is the same, really.
Yeah. So it's finished. West Brom 0, Wolves. Not Wolves. Everton 1. That was close at the end. Still have no clue what happened, but hey ho.
When you see it, you will not believe how offside it was by a shoe. So yeah.
It is unbelievable, and it has finished. Wherever it was playing, Spurs 1, Fulham 0 in that game as well.
God's sake.
It could have been better, couldn't it? But we let our players do the talking on the field. Let's get our final thoughts on this. We'll do quick fire predictions. Phil, we'll come to you first.
I'm going to go for 2-1 to us.
Same as the reverse fixture, Gary.
3-0.
Very confident. West Ham Online.
4-1.
James.
I'm going to go 3-1. I think we're going to counter-attack them. I think they will score Leeds. They always do. But, yeah, I think the counter-attack is a major thing for us against this team all day long. So 3-1 us.
I've changed my prediction 1-0.
So let's kind of move off that. Well, this is better than Sky apparently with the live watch along reactions. We had the reactions, but look at this abuse is coming in. Phil looks like the milk tray man, says Russ.
The milk tray man? I've never had that one before.
Last time you won, you had Cristiano Ronaldo. You've gone from Cristiano Ronaldo to the milk tray man.
I remember I was on your show about probably nearly a month ago, and I noticed in the comments when I watched it back, and someone said I look like Hector Bellerin.
I can see that one.
Well, I think when I do this and the hair, I do look like him, but I'm not him.
Oh, definitely. Let's move away, and let's. I want to just touch on. I'm going to ask you, when and where can we start dreaming of, this top 4 fantasy, this finishing 5th, 6th? West Ham Online. I'm going to come to you first. Have you started dreaming yet?
Well, not after that result today. We can still definitely get it it's all down to us effectively. If we if we play better than the other teams, we get top 4. We're in pole position. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Dean on Monday walked onto the pitch with a "I hate West Ham" shirt on. So we'll see.
I just hope for God. I can't believe when I saw that. That moment that it came out, I think about 60 million Twitter accounts went absolutely ballistic. But you can't write it, and let's hope he just keeps himself under control. Because if there's any type of decision that's half doesn't go our way, nobody's going to hold back, are they, James?
No, I'm not being funny or nothing. I can't believe it. If I'm being honest, it was only 3 weeks ago, a month ago, was it, that we played Fulham, beginning of February, I think it was. And he's back refereeing us again after a dodgy decision. Well, one of the worst decisions you're ever likely to see on a football field. And he's refereeing our game again. So I can't. And how many officials are there? And he's refereeing our game again. It makes no sense. But we can't worry about the ref. We can't worry about any other team. We've got 12 cup finals, and we just got to treat it like that. If we win every game, we're in the top 4. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way we've got to look at it. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. But I'll be honest with you, the next 5 games will decide where we're going to head. We've got Leeds at home, Man United away, Arsenal at home, Wolves away, Leicester at home, and then we've got Everton to come up in that period and Chelsea after that. So if you look at the next 7, if we come out of that and we're still round there at the end of April, then we can dream. But let's deal with Leeds on Monday first, and then one game at a time, gentlemen.
Yeah. Phil, are you dreaming yet?
It's a nice little dream to have, but I'm just going to take every game as it comes. Obviously, you've just said there's a lot of big teams around us that we're going to be playing soon. So
yeah,
once if let's say top 6 is virtually guaranteed for us, then and we're still close with the top 4, then I will probably think yes, we can do it. But I'm just happy where we are at the moment. I mean, right now we're not 4th anymore because I saw the table. Everton are above us, which is a shame.
Yeah, so there it is. So I mean, Chelsea and Liverpool. If that's a draw, one of them goes above us on goal difference. So I mean, the worst that can happen is we move down to 6th or 7th tonight. I mean,
well, that's not good, is it?
Oh God, Moyes out now. But Gary, do you realistically think? I mean, what is it? 12 games to go. That we are still in the running for that Champions League spot, for that elusive 4th position.
I think we are, Jay. Yeah, I think we are. 2 things I would say. I think firstly, we played far and away the best team in the league in Manchester City, and we're all disappointed we didn't get a draw. I mean, they are streets ahead of everybody else, and we played them really well. A lot of their fans on social media said that we were the best team they've played this season in the league. So that's a good benchmark. Also, the second point I'd make, we've been so consistent this year. You could name probably on one hand we played badly. Newcastle was a bad game. We had a dodgy game against Fulham at home. Other than that, I'm struggling to think when we played poorly. So if we can maintain that consistency and keep our players fit, vitally, if we lose one of Rice or Souček, we're in trouble. But I think we can do it. Yeah, I'm quite confident. Take one game at a time. We've got one game a week. We haven't got any Europe to worry about, so we've got a chance. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Neil asked, do you think Mike Dean will be nervous? Oh well, I mean, the thing that probably hit home the most was probably when Specsavers tweeted that does he need glasses? It just sums it all up, doesn't it? The January transfer window finished about a month ago, and it's typical West Ham that the rumours, they've started flooding again. So I'm going to completely capitalise on that, and we're going to talk about a few of them that have come out. 3 of the big ones that's come out. Firstly, it's the Manchester United second goalkeeper at the moment. It is Dean Henderson. James, I'm going to come to you first. What are your thoughts? I mean, he's going to cost us upwards of £40 million, isn't he?
Sign him up. If you sign, that is 40 million spent, and he's there for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So when you look at it like that, sign him up. But you know what? I I do rate Henderson, but there's one goalkeeper that I would go and sign right now. Is Nick Pope at Burnley. I
Good
think
shout.
he's a great goalkeeper. He's an England international. He's wasted at Burnley, and if we get in the Champions League or positions and we establish ourselves in there, go up to Burnley and get him out of Burnley because he will save us a lot of points. Don't muck about with Ramsdale. Like, come on, he's not good enough. He's been with Bournemouth. He's been with Sheffield United. They've both been relegated. Areola, good goalkeeper, PSG player. I rate him. I do rate him. Sam Johnson, yet again, he's in the team that's like he's taking shots after shots and he's conceding lots of goals, but he's half decent. But if I had to pick one, I'll go and get Nick Pope out of Burnley.
Yeah, but I mean, Nick Pope, I think, will cost us more than that. But I think we do need to get a quality keeper in. I mean, this just sums West Ham up completely, Kieran. Bring back Roberto. I'm not even going to comment on that, but let's get rid of that. We need to spend the money. It's just whether we're going to spend the money and get the decent enough players that we need. West Ham Online. Who would you sign out of the ones there? I mean, Henderson, Ramsdale, Areola, Johnston, the ones that have been put in the mix. Who would you pick?
Personally, I'm strongly against the Henderson rumour, just because I don't think we'll end up having the budget to get a 40 million keeper, buy Lingard, and buy a striker. It's just not feasible with the board we've got. If we get Champions League, maybe, but we probably won't. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Henderson rumour at the moment. I think in terms of price, see, I still think Fabianski can be our number one next season. For the moment, I think I'm quite a big fan of Johnston from West Brom. Every time I see him, he's saving them. Despite how many goals they concede, he's quite a good keeper. And if we don't get Champions League, I'd go for Johnston. But if we do get that massive influx of money from the Champions League positions, if we get it, then I'd move towards a Pope.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's just break it down because the rumours have come out that we're going to have, David Moyes is going to have £60 million to spend in the summer. And that's provided that we sell Lanzini, we sell the donkey that we've got up front. What's his name? Yarmolenko. I mean, James, you are shaking your head there, but Gary, I'm going to come to you. With this budget, what's going to happen with that? Because, I mean, give us the ideal transfer window in the summer. What would you like to see happen with the money that you think we've got there?
I mean, you didn't include Anderson in there. Hopefully we can get someone to buy Anderson as well, because that would be good. We definitely need a forward, this is clear. We definitely need a central midfielder to back up Rice and Sujek. And then we need a goalkeeper and probably a left back as well. That's what I would go for. Those are my 4 priorities. I think we need Cresswell is a good player. He's had a great season, but he's not any younger and he lacks a bit of pace. Masuaka, as we know, can't really defend. Centre midfield, Rice and Sujek can't play every minute. And then up front, it's obvious we got cheese strings with Antonio, so we need a backup there. But that's going to be more than 60 million, I'm afraid. As West Ham on, it depends on the budget. It really does. We have to be very clever. Maybe Slavia Prague have got a few players they can give us.
Oh dear. Right, let's take a few comments quickly. We will be 6, so 3 points at least is crucial. It is. Peach is going Areola for me. We've gone back, bring back Roberto. Pope. People are going Pope. People are agreeing with you there. James. Hammers Poles. Good evening. He's saying Trot.
No.
Phil.
He's not ready.
No.
He's not ready, mate. You can't. Like,
No chance.
He's not ready. How can you chuck in a 21-year-old in goal? Goalkeeper and striker is one of the most important positions on the pitch. Like, you got a man who stops the goals, and you need a man who scores the goals. Trot was at Wimbledon and done nothing. Going back to what Gary was saying, 60 million. Yeah, it needs to be double that. We need about 120 million spent on this team. Like, if we lose 3 players, we need to buy at least 5. And that's just starting off. And no one's even forgetting if Mark Noble decides to retire. That's another player we're going to lose. So we need another player on top of that. So we need 100 million spent on we need 2 strikers, 2 midfielders, 1 left back. And I would leave the goalkeeper for a season. And let's just start off with.
Yeah. I mean, we can throw these names about, can't we? But Phil, trot all these names. Who are you picking for that goalkeeper position?
Probably Areola. I like Henderson and I like Pope, but I think when I've watched Fulham this season, especially as they've been grinding out the results, Areola's done pretty decent. And I said it last time I was on your show about him, where if they do get relegated, he ain't going to sign permanently there. And I don't know who the first choice is at PSG, so I'd happily sign him up. And he's got some experience in Europe, obviously with PSG, and I think he was on loan at Real Madrid last season. So he's a good shout. But I'll be happy if we got Nick Pope as well. But definitely not Nathan Trott, though. I don't think he's got a future, to be honest, for long term at West Ham.
No, I mean either.
Yeah, interesting. Johnston will be more achievable. West Brom will get relegated. See, that could be a factor. Massive fitness says, "Oh, we don't have the squad depth or the money to give Europe a go yet. We need to build slowly." No. I'd say a striker is the main target, and then a goalkeeper the season after. I mean, if we do get into Europe, West Ham Online, I'll bring this to you. If we do get into Europe, there's no doubt about it. The amount of money that we're gonna have to spend. But it's just a question, are we going to go like we did 15-16? Let's pray to God we don't get drawn Astragugu, but you know, but there's going to have to be money invested. And do you think that those three up top will do that to, give us a chance in Europe?
Well, yeah. Well, going back to that comment, that we don't have the squad to give Europe a go yet. GSB have to put the funds in. If we're not going to give Europe a go, what's the point in playing the rest of the season and trying to get Europe? Like, what is the point? I know
bang on. Bang on.
Yeah.
Bang on the money. What you are saying is bang on the money. We never left Upton Park 5 years ago to be not, like, what is the point? Like, you're so right in what you're saying. Sorry to butt in, but I had to say that. Like, we never left 5 years ago to be in a stadium. And now we've got European football. They don't want to put their hand in their pocket. Like, something's got to give. And this summer we'll decide if they're ambitious or if they're just looking to take money out the club and just basically feed off of us fans. Sorry, I'll let you carry on, mate.
Yeah, like, I completely agree with what you just said. If we're not going to try in Europe and just not do anything, what's the point in playing the rest of the season? And what was the point in signing Lingard effectively? Because if we weren't going to go for Europe, we could have just relaxed, taken 12th position, been boring again. We need to try for Europe. We need to invest in the summer. Nathan Trott, I'd rather have Pixie Lot in goal. When I saw him down at Southend, my God, he was more nervous than Gemma Collins in a cross-country race. He was shocking. We have to invest, and simply we have to go for it. There's no more excuses.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can shove names about and shoving names about hasn't kind of stopped. But let's move up the field, and the big rumor that's come out is about Tammy Abraham. I'm going to voice my opinion first. Some people won't like it, but for me, I wouldn't like to see Tammy Abraham come to West Ham. That's my opinion. I think that he will cost too much money. What I've seen of him at Chelsea, he looks a bit iffy in front of goal, I think, perhaps. And for me, that is not who I'd pick, because I think he looked good when he started playing for Chelsea, but I just don't know. I really haven't got a good feeling about him. Gary, what's your feeling about Abraham?
I don't dislike him. I haven't watched him too much, to be honest with you. But I mean, I think the bigger picture, Jake, is the fact that everybody knows, any West Ham fan knows we need a striker. And we should have a scouting network in place with a long list of targets ready to go to fit into Moyes' system. But you can guarantee they haven't done this already. This is what's so disappointing. It's clear what we need, and there doesn't seem to be any system in place to get ready. All the big clubs, all the good clubs, like Leicester, a classic example, they sell one every summer and bring 2 or 3 in. And look where they are. They've got a proper scouting system, and this is what we should have, because we've needed a striker now for well over a year. So as soon as the season finishes at the end of May, they should go bang, bang, get the players in immediately. But they won't. They'll be farting around until August the 31st, whenever the window finishes, scrabbling around and bringing Ivan Toney from Brentford for 40 million or something. That's what happened. That's unfortunate.
Or on loan.
Or loan. It's just, this is what we need. We need a properly run club. And we haven't got that at the moment. I mean, David Moyes has done a fantastic job with the resources. He's done an absolutely unbelievable job. And he needs some support. And we need the board to back him and say, here Moyes, this is a 3-year contract, and this is the money you need to invest in the club, away you go. But it won't happen. I'm sorry to say, it won't happen.
Yeah. Phil, your thoughts on Abraham?
He's not a bad player. He's good, but I don't know. It's hard to say, really, because when we do get a striker, it's not often they become successful. So, I don't know. We could sign him, and he could turn out to be really good. We don't know until it happens. So, obviously, we know it's just rumours. We've been linked with however many big players in the past, and none of them have come through. So, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And we'll probably, like what Gary said there, we'll probably end up getting Ivan Toney last day of the transfer window on loan. It's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Jack makes an interesting comment here. Danny Ings would be a great signing.
Yeah.
He's that kind of player.
Shout.
He's a bit injury prone, isn't he?
That is the only issue that I have is with Ings. Good player, but he's injury prone.
Yeah.
If he was going to go and like, Abraham's a good shout, but I agree with you, Jake, on this one. I do. His attitude. He thinks he's a higher station. Right? I'd rather go and sign Ivan Toney and Adam Armstrong out of Blackburn and have two young, fresh. Right? If you're going to go and spend, like, let me ask everyone here right now: how much would you be prepared to spend on Tammy Abraham? That's a question for everyone to think about. Now, if you're going to say 45 million or 40 million, I'd rather go and get Adam Armstrong out of Blackburn and Ivan Toney out of Brentford, and that means we've got 3 strikers at the club, right? Like Antonio, Toney, and Armstrong.
Yeah.
And I just don't. Tammy Abraham, good player, done well at Villa, does well at Chelsea, but we need bodies more than just one man. Because if we go we need more than just one striker. Well, I think we need 2. Like, we're the only club in the whole of the Premier League who.
Is
that just me?
Internet gone.
What a proper cliffhanger.
Oh, I thought that was just me. Oh no, he's gone black.
Right,
I'm sure
he's frozen.
Oh, no, is he there?
He's gone again.
You there, mate?
Oh,
he's there. Right. Go on, continue.
So, well, basically, right, it's best off to have 2 strikers than just one, isn't it? So that's the way we've got to look at it. Really. Yeah,
definitely. Let's take a few more comments. Gary's saying Ings isn't a Moyes player. Who's a young Antonio? And the one that I'm looking at is that Ivan Toney. For me, that would be the perfect signing. Ivan Toney, whether it's on loan or whether it's permanently. I think he's the one to come in. I've seen this. I've just got on my Twitter timeline and I've just found this. West Ham midfielder Thomas Souček is reportedly emerging as a target for Barcelona. £26 million, and I've just seen James. You commented on there. 26 million times 3. Then we talk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What
that
an
rumour's a load
insult!
of rubbish. That rumour can't be true because he's not a Barcelona player, Thomas Souček, in his play style. I doubt they'd be looking at him. And 26 million, we want 6 times that.
Yeah.
And more importantly, Barcelona got no money. Barcelona is
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's the source?
Yeah. It said this Spanish source, I believe. Hang on, give me 2 secs. That geezer there.
About as reliable as barbecue sauce. That is really poor for them.
Todo fajitas.
Well, it is, in all seriousness now, it is a worry because teams are going to come in for Thomas Souček, aren't they? James, they are going to come in for him, aren't they?
Thing is, no man is bigger than the club. Like we've had a lot of players at the club, and they've gone, and the club still carried on. If someone comes in and offers 90 million for Souček, then we'll talk. But not 26 million when we only paid 18 for him. So you're telling me we're going to get an £8 million profit for a player who's box to box goal scorer, never gets injured, never really gets in any sort of grief other than when Mike Dean's the ref. So yeah, I just don't pay the money, and then but then also you got to look at it. If we get 90 million, would it be invested back in the squad? That's the $1 million question. So to me, nah, not for me. 26 million's an insult, and where that's come from, I don't know. Fake news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just before we round things off, I mean, Gary, in terms of putting the goalkeeper and the striker position aside, do you think that there'll be anything left there, any money there, for there to be any more business?
Well, history, Jake, will tell you no. I mean, I've supported West Ham all my life, and every time we needed investment, we haven't done so. You go back. I can go back to 1986 when we came third, and we needed for investment. Then we did absolutely nothing. And then in 2016, when we had a good season, we bought a load of loan players and a load of rubbish free players. We just haven't got a structure in place. So maybe I'm cynical. I'm not young like yourself and full of optimism, but I can't see us doing it. I'm sorry to say. I really hope I'm wrong, but I can't see it happening.
Yeah, definitely. If we kind of go in the outings, Phil, in terms of the outings, who would you like to see? I mean, Anderson to go, Lanzini, Yarmolenko. Who are you picking to go out the door?
Anderson, Yarmolenko. I don't want to see Lanzini go because of he's been here a long time. But if he has to go, then he has to go.
Big bad Weller's going, isn't he?
Yeah,
I've heard the rumour about him going. I mean, I won't blame him for leaving because I think he's done pretty good when he has played, but it's been unfortunate really where he's gone down the pecking order every time he gets a chance. But if he goes, so be it.
but Alves next year, watch this
Alves.
space. That boy's going to be he's going to be class. He's going to be class.
Hopefully,
that boy.
yeah.
He's getting from what I'm hearing out of from people I know, he's going to be a top defender. We're working him up to it. Balbuena, yeah, it's time to go, mate. He's been with us for a while, and I'll tell you what done it with me with Balbuena was the Tottenham game at White Hart Lane back in October. He was just so slow, and it's just he'd be suited for a place in Italy or something. He's just not. He's not. He's not for the Premier League. Premier League's too fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. All them players, I agree.
We still got Winston Reid. Get rid of Winston.
Do you know what though? With Winston Reid, right? And this is another little thing. I've got a feeling that West Ham are going to use Winston Reid and a bit of money for Ivan Toney. And don't be surprised if that is the case.
That's a good shout.
That'd be interesting. Just before we do bring on our very special guest that I've literally just invited on, West Ham Online. I mean, how much money do you think is coming out of all of these kind of departures? Talk us through it. How much do you think we'll get how much do you think we'll get Anderson for starters?
Anderson, I think, if I'm being serious, 5 to 10 million. You may see that as insulting considering we paid a ridiculous fee for him, but I can't see anyone being stupid enough to pay more than 5, maybe 15 max. Lanzini, I've met Lanzini. I speak to him. I think he's a lovely person. Used to be a great player. Now he's finished in terms of end product. Last 44 games, 3 goal involvements. That's Patrick Star numbers. He's got to be gone. And I'd just like to quickly touch on Alves. From the players and the people that I speak to, they're saying what James is saying. On the ball, he's unbelievable for a defender, but he's got some... he's not as composed as you might think just yet, so they're working on that.
Yeah. Right, let's add some spice to our lives then. It's the one and only.
Let's add some spice to our life. How you mean, Big Jake? What's going on,
Hey.
big boy? Yo,
Pete, you alright?
I'm Brett. I messed up my phone, dog. I think I told you on Instagram. I was talking to my brethren about your tune that I'm doing for you, dog. For you, for you up there, for you, dog. Big J, A-K to the E, is West Ham unofficial, how you mean? But it's like, I was talking to this man, and then like my phone dropped, and then all messed up, dog, crack up my screen. So I gotta wait till like, I can get some money off the Geldem and then like get it fixed up, man. Yo, big up James. You were live on the thing last night, dog. You were live on the thing last night. Always big up Phil, big up Gaza, big up yourself, Jake. Don't know.
Very good. Peach, we've been talking about the transfers. What's your view on it, mate?
Hey, no, you know what? My pops is like, he's like, Tammy Abraham might suit West Ham, but I'm not about it. Man.
Yeah. In terms of the goalkeeper position, what are you thinking about that? I mean, Areola for you?
Yeah, I'm with Phil all day, but Pope would be a good shout. Like, Pope would be like what I think it was James. Who was saying he'd be with us like the next, like, how many years? Was that Pope or Henderson, James?
Well, what it is, I said Henderson, but if you want someone who's ready-made right now to come into the team right now and start and just be a great goalkeeper, you've got to have Pope. Pope's he's the best British goalkeeper, and how he don't get an England #1 jersey ahead of Pickford, I do not know.
100%, because he plays better than Pickford in the league. Like,
exactly.
Very
Yeah,
true.
exactly. Let's take some comments. That's 50 mil in sales, and we already got a £50 from last year, and could be a bumper window.
Could, but won't.
Did Alves get sent off on his under 23s
Yeah,
debut?
unfairly though. It was unfair.
yeah,
He shouldn't have been a red card.
He's a good player, trust me. Like, how we've nicked him, and from what I've heard from people who I know, like exactly what West Ham Online said, exactly the same thing. Composure-wise, he's learning, but you've also got to understand the Premier League's it's the best league in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so he's got to come into where it's fast, free-flowing football all the time. But I'll tell you what, if he actually turns out, a lot of people who I've been speaking to telling me how he's turning out, we have got one hell of a player on our hands.
I'd just like to say quickly, someone, I'm not going to say who, has compared him, this might be a bit drastic, but has compared him to a young Rio Ferdinand.
wow.
Yeah. We've heard that before, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, though. No, he's exactly what I heard. I heard like a young, solid, well-composed defender, but he just needs to learn it. Like, under 23s is, as I've said before about certain youngsters, under 23 level, and then you've got Premier League level are two different things. So he's just got to learn his way. But I'll tell you what, ain't it a great opportunity? Ain't it great though to have Issa Diop, Bonner, Dawson?
Yes.
And if you've got Alvarez in there and all, you've got 4 good, solid centre halves.
But
Beats the days of George McCarthy.
I know, but what happened to Cardoso? Cardoso was supposed to be the next big thing.
Oh, he's useless.
Yeah, but
I know.
what it is,
I know.
Yeah, but what it is, some people can either hack it in the league, and some people can't. Do you know what I mean?
You're right.
And at the end of the day, he's a young lad. I'm not sure what nationality. Is he Brazilian, Alves? I'm not too sure.
I think so.
He's Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Oh, he's
Oh, he's
Portuguese.
Danish. No, he's Danish, isn't he?
He's over them ways still. Yeah.
He's Danish, isn't he? Yeah.
But there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Danish.
He's
Danish.
And from what I'm hearing, from what I'm hearing from like people in the know sort of thing, that he's a little gem, but we just got to nurture him along. A bit like Issa Diop, basically. Issa Diop, people are saying they want him out.
The last comment I'd like to say on him, Cardoso, like Alves, had a lot of potential, apparently, when he was in Portugal. But as soon as he got to West Ham, the players, the people at West Ham have said they didn't
Yeah.
actually see it from what they saw of him at West Ham. He didn't look like that good in the under-23s, and they wasn't sure that he could play in the first team. But with Alves, they're saying they think that he can.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
promising.
I mean, Gary, coming to you. I mean, it's promising. Just before we wrap this up, it's promising these players we've got coming through. You know, people saying about Alves, Johnson coming through as well. I mean, we've got a few players coming through that it could be good for us. You know, through the academy.
Absolutely. I mean, we've always had a good history. I mean, in the early 2000s, we had, Cole, Carrick, Johnson, Defoe, all these people coming through. And if we can get, one or two every couple of years, that'd be great. I mean, Declan Rice is an outstanding success. Ben Johnson, I like. He's going to be a good player. I must admit, I haven't seen Alves at all, but I take the word people know more than I do. So hopefully he'll be good as well. If we find one a season, it saves us a lot of money. So yeah, let's hope that continues.
Yeah. Hammer's Pole says another Reece Oxford. Phil.
God.
What, in terms of wasted potential?
Yeah.
Well, we won't know.
Difference with Reece Oxford. The difference with Reece Oxford, Reece Oxford had a bad attitude and thought he was above his station, basically.
Yeah.
And look at him now. Where's he playing? Like third division of like the German league.
Nowhere.
So
yeah.
So
Rafael Morrison, another one.
Reece Oxford was with Billy Big Boots after that Arsenal match. Reece Oxford was Billy Big Boots after that Arsenal match, and it killed him.
Yeah. Just before we wrap this up, James v Phil quiz night.
Yes. Do it. Make it happen.
What? I'm tuning into that.
You don't know what I'm bringing, lad.
Yo, James was killing it the other night on the quiz, and he wasn't even in the quiz, dog. That was so dope.
Nah, that feels right, man.
James, do you remember you got 8 out of 10 on that other quiz the other night that we did?
I know, mate. I know. You know what it is? It's 34 years of suffering with West Ham, so I know quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? But it's all good. But I'm just like, do you know what? I just want to say this to everyone while everyone's here. I just feel very proud to be a West Ham fan at the minute. I don't know about everyone else, but I've said it on numerous platforms. I feel proud to be a West Ham fan at the minute because it's been hard. There's been times where I've seen this team been destroyed basically by having to sell players. Like, I'm not being funny, like Gary would know. Like 2003 was one of the hardest moments to see all our young talent just go. Like Carrick, Cole, Canute, Johnson, to name a few.
Defoe,
so man. And now we look like a team that's sort of on the rise again. But let's just hope it ain't just a one-off like this season, so to speak. Like
I don't think it's a one-off with Moyes and his backroom staff, James. I don't think it's a one-off. I think they're building blocks like Jenga, like real talk.
No, we need investment.
Yeah. Investment is key. Sorry, but it is key. Like if we're gonna do anything in this, like the way I look at it is this is going to be our best chance to get Champions League. If we're going to get Champions League, the time is now because as I've said it before, I've said it on Jake's channel before. Next season, them teams will be stronger, and we won't have a chance. Like we might get a couple of players in, and we might finish in the top 10, but we won't finish in the top 6 because the Arsenals, the Chelseas, the Tottenhams. They would all get better, and we're at a situation where we can only sign, say, 1 or 2 really good players. These teams can sign 3 or 4 or even 5 good players. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference.
But if the board said that they're going to give Moyes how much? They're going to give him 60 million. Sorry. Didn't he save money like in the winter transfer window? So it must be more than that.
He was given £30 million in the summer, and he in the winter, and he spent $7 million. So there's still money there.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Lanzini and another man like that, like we could.
Do you know what it was in the winter window? What they done in the winter window, and they done it very, very clever, is they made it look like they had just paid 26 million out for Benrahma. when they could have just went and
Yeah.
signed Dawson for 3 million and gone and bought a
That's what
striker.
I'm saying.
Mm.
Yes.
Now, what they've done is they go, oh, you know what? We've just spent 26 million on Benrahma, and now we've loaned
Yeah.
Lingard to make it look like they've spent money. When in fact, if they would have left it to the summer, they could have bought Dawson in the winter transfer window, £3 million
Yeah.
peanuts. Gone and loaned
Yeah.
a striker, like, or even bought a striker.
Mhm.
But I think there's a bit of stubbornness there. It's either stubborn from the board or it's stubborn from Moyes. But one of them was a bit too stubborn for, and
Yeah.
basically that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start wrapping things up. Any last thoughts from you guys? Peach, I'm gonna keep you on for a little bit longer, but for the rest of the guys, any last thoughts?
No,
Yeah.
let's just hope we win against Leeds.
We
I
will.
think I'd like to quickly say I think it's going to be really difficult to defend Bamford and Rafinha, the two players we need to really watch out for.
And
Bamford's
Dallas.
been good this
Dallas
season.
is dope too, man.
Yeah, Dallas is good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you're going to see on Monday if we are as I keep saying it, the old West Ham or new West Ham. If this is the new West Ham, we turn up against Leeds on Monday and we go straight through Leeds, no problem. If it's the old West Ham,
Yeah.
Same old
so
West
we're
Ham,
going to
isn't
see.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Bring
worried that you
Bring it on,
go.
Phil. If you want that quiz, son, we're having.
Right, I'm up for it, mate. I'm up for it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Mate,
Fire
get it
shots.
done.
Fire shots, man. Fire shots.
Get the
You
best
know,
drink ready.
It's gonna be very soon. I thought that Charlie versus Frankel was gonna be.
This is going to be better, dog.
Just before I let you go, on Tuesday, have you guys any have heard of the former Coventry player? We've got the flying postman John Williams coming
Oh
on.
yeah,
That should be good.
JW.
Yeah. To Phil, Gary, James, West Ham Online, thank you very much for joining me tonight. And we're fifth, gonna be sick very soon, but we're still loving life.
We're going to be fourth
Loving
very soon.
life.
Guys, thank you very much.
Cheers,
Cheers.
mate.
Take care,
See you
man.
later,
See you
boys.
later.
Right then, Peach.
Yo, I can't even see myself right now. My battery is so low, it's going to die out soon still, but I'll keep talking until the thing dies up, dog. I know business.
Right, so what I want
Yo, can you see me? You can see me?
Yeah?
Oh, boom. Because I can't see myself. My screen gone black, dog. Like I told you, I messed up my phone, dog. My screen's gone black, but if I'm still on, I'm still here. Yo, how are you doing, Jake? Are you good, man?
I am
Wicked.
good.
Wicked, man. Enough love, man, to you, your mom, your dad. Don't know. What did you have for lunch today, Doc?
What do you think?
Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You did not have tomato soup and croutons, Doc.
I did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, man. Yo, pass some of them over in Canada, Doc. How do you mean?
Right. What we're gonna do, because I think your battery's gonna die. What we're gonna do, I want you to give me a very brief preview for the Leeds game, and then I want you to close out the show.
Okay, preview for the Leeds game, 4-1 done. Yo, preview for the Leeds game, 4-1 done. Because Belliesa, who doesn't speak English because he's dumb, we're going to done do him in. Watch, trust me. Yo, we'll do them in easy, dog. We'll do them in easy. Early goals by halftime. Yo, we should be running in like 2-something, man. 2-1, 2-0, 2-0, 2 goals, dog. Like, yo, big up J-A-K to the E. West Ham unofficial United FC. How you mean? Just, yo, straight up, man. Big yourself up, dog. Word up.
Right, just this comment before we close out the show. How did Benrahma do against Leeds in the Championship? Maybe a game for him. Peach, is this game a game for Saeed Benrahma? Go.
Saeed Benrahma's going to score, dog. Yo, Saeed Benrahma has to score because once he scores, the floodgates will open up and we'll see the man that he is. Like, do you hear the man saying like, oh, it's not the same Saeed Benrahma from Brentford. Well, what changed? It's the English Premier League. Like, yo, James was saying it. It's a step up, dog. Like, it is a step up. But if he's not getting game time, how's he going to step up? And once he gets that first goal, floodgates will open up, Jake. Trust me.
Yeah. Kieran's got a request. Come to Brisbane, Peach, and we will have a ball.
Yo, I'll come to Brisbane. Yo, trust me. No doubt, dog. No doubt. How you mean? Big up Kieran. Kieran's a G. He's always in the chats, dog. Always, always, always.
Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say my goodbyes. Thank you very much for watching. I am now going to hand the floor over to Peach to say goodbye. Make sure you say like, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff, and say goodbye to the viewers. I'm going to now say goodbye to all of you, and it's over to Peach, the 5-foot West Ham poet.
Peach, the 5-foot West Ham poet. It's West Ham unofficial. I'm official. It's West Ham unofficial. I'm official. It's West Ham unofficial. Big J-A-K to the E. It's West Ham unofficial. Peach, the 5FT. It's West Ham unofficial. You don't know I'm official. It's West Ham unofficial. Jakey Boy's official. It's West Ham unofficial. You see how we be? It's West Ham unofficial till I D-I-E. Like, subscribe, all them things. Big up everybody, dog.
Thank you very much, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. From me and Peach.
I love y'all, man. Straight up, man. I love y'all, man. Straight up, man.
You can't see me, but crossed irons.
Yo, how you mean, dog? How you mean? Come on, you iron. Up the iron.
Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you very, very soon. Come on, you iron.